this, our hands disappear.
Ay! So mag-connect tayo.
It's
Parang
funny.
gano'n.
We're 5 years old. Okay.
Fourth episode of The Best News Ever. My name is Tina Ryan.
I'm Sam O. And yes, it's good to see everyone back here for our
installment of The Misconceptions about Shincheonji.
To start by reading something that we got through the email.
Yay!
Yay! You ready? I'll take that as a yes. Okay.
I'm like looking
It's
at you.
coming from Yazi, who is all the way in Cebu. Okay, Yazi says, Hi, Sam and Tina. I listened to your new podcast while at work. Congratulations, you two. Thank you. Sam, I loved it when you said you realized the people in the Bible were all connected in a way and in all ways. Apparently, most, if not all of us, are thinking the same way, but when you engage in reading the Bible, it does make you realize that yes, they are all connected in all ways. Tina, I could relate to you when you said that your family was the first to notice that there were some changes in you and your life. And when you found people who would journey with you, I felt that too. At the end of the day, it will always be who made your life and journey easier that matters. Whatever it may be, a community, a friendship, or just anything, finding people who share the same boat with you is like finding a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
Oh.
Is she talking about me? Am I your pot of gold?
Yes, you are. A beer.
Oh my God.
A beer.
Congratulations, you two. And although I will be missing the Narrow Door podcast, I wish you both the best for the new show. Regards, Yazi of Cebu. Love Cebu, by the way. Thank you, Yazi.
And thank you for emailing us.
Absolutely. She is the first person who actually emailed us in our brand spanking new email address.
bestnewseverpodcast at Gmail.
This is like a history making email on the podcast. Not that it amounts to. Thank you so much. And I think we've only read like 2 messages, but I think I'm just surprised that people still are talking to us about the Narrow Door podcast because it's been like
more than a year.
Definitely more than, I don't know, it feels like 5 years to me, but it's been more than a year since we've done an episode. And so to have people write to us and talk to us about the Narrow Door podcast, it really warms my heart. And I love how Yazi talks about what you said, your family, noticing the changes in you and stuff like that. How did you change exactly?
I just would never spend time with my family, especially my mom growing up. We love each other. We just, I guess growing up, we could just never see eye to eye.
It's known to happen between mother, daughter.
I would find every excuse to not be around them.
Yeah.
And I regret a lot of that now. But having been taught the word or like studying the word, it brought me back to them. Parang di ba parang nagbabalik ka sa ama mo, ganun din. Parang nagbalik ako sa Panginoon ba? Bumabalik ako sa ko ngayon, sa magulang ko, sa family ko. I guess making up for lost time.
That's wonderful.
And I've never felt more closer to my mom.
Yeah.
Or more close to my mom, rather.
Does she feel the same way about you?
Ay, super. Like, yung mga kapatid ko nagtataka, ba't araw-araw daw nandun ako? My dad wants me to move back in, actually.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And, I think in general, the word just taught me to be more mindful of everything. Diba?
It's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
And having you around also.
Oh, no. You don't get to do that anymore because you've done that in the past episode. And I have not talked about like Tina's effect on me and this faith walk that we've been on together, because Tina is, first of all, she gives me so much strength and comfort. Oh my gosh, bathroom tissue pa talaga yung tissue mo. Walang glamour. Ano ba yan?
Teka,
is such a light-hearted person. She makes everything so fun. She is hilarious. And, the faith walk isn't easy all the time. There are many difficult moments. And so to have a friend like you who can really just crack me up and just make everything so fun and easy, it means so much. And I just feel like you have been the greatest gift.
Ikaw naman. No, but yeah, just hindi siya madali. But I guess when you surround yourself with people of the same faith,
Yeah,
it becomes much easier.
it does.
Mm-mm.
So, Yazi, for writing to us, and we appreciate your kind words, and we got to reminisce a little bit, and we got cheesy again, but it's all good.
Expect a lot of that
It's all
on
good.
the
It's all
best news
good.
ever.
Yeah, and we probably needed that kind of good energy because some of the misconceptions that we'll be talking about today are, pretty serious. And misconceptions in that the truth is some people have had unpleasant, painful experiences in this church, and we cannot deny that.
Yeah.
And we're not here to deny that. We're not here to just, throw a blanket over everything and just say like, no, everything is good in the hood. Nothing bad ever happens here. Like, because that is not what happens.
But I think in every church naman lahat may bad experiences. Hindi lang naman sa Shincheonji.
That is true. That is true. And I think if we are to judge all the churches of the world by the people that are in it and what has happened in the past,
Wala na.
among the people who are in the church, like, no one is going to survive that kind of gauge. But
my mom is an example. She had a bad experience with the church. She left, diba?
Oh.
It really happens.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
oo.
Yeah.
So not one. Again, this is the second part 2 of the misconceptions about our church, which is Shincheonji. Diba? Kasi parang our church na diba? Medyo lang ko. Parang kinikilig ako dahil I finally belong to a church.
Oh, okay. And maybe this is something that we should do an episode on as well then, because maybe people are wondering like, okay, why is she all giddy about belonging to a church? Is because you never really fully identified with a particular church.
I've been seeking for most of my life, and now I belong to a church, and I think it's a wonderful thing. And even our friends from other denominations, they're very happy kasi lagi lang sinasabi wherever your faith grows, and this is where my faith is growing.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that in a future episode. But yes, today we are going to discuss some other misunderstandings, misconceptions. Not even sure what to really call it at this point, but I think number one on today's episode is a misunderstanding.
There's a backstory.
There's
kasi.
a backstory. That's right.
Okay, so the first misconception today is that Shincheonji uses deceptive methods to evangelize people.
Okay.
Tell them the backstory.
So we heard that in the beginning, when Shincheonji was starting in Korea and giving out these Bible study classes for free, they were openly doing this. Many people started coming to these classes, really liked the teaching, joined the church, and the other churches started to notice. And you can see how that is probably not a very welcome development in the religious world. Not, let's face it, there's jealousy among churches and things like this. And so the accusations of sheep stealing started. And then it got to a point where they just resorted to spreading false rumors about Shincheonji.
Ito pa yung sa TV, diba?
Oh, it got to that point. Oo. But before that, I think, so nagsimula dun sa mga, some churches who were just not happy with this situation. And then eventually, I think one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, pastors group in Korea started attacking Shincheonji as well, accused it of being a cult. The teachings there are false, mga ganyan. And then eventually, na-pick up din ng media. So, medyo mahirap na yun once the media portrays you a certain way to kind of take all of that back. And so, because people who are in Shincheonji Church believe that the teaching that is flowing out of this place is the revealed word for the New Testament Bible, and people have to hear this and decide for themselves, they resorted to now just teaching the Bible study without initially telling them that this is a Shincheonji Bible study. And then somewhere down the line, they told them that, yes, you are actually doing the Shincheonji Bible study. And so at that point, obviously, either they stayed because they liked the teaching or they went. because they were like, I feel deceived.
I stayed because I love the teaching.
And we came in with our eyes open too, because at this point everything is wide open. There is no, there's no hiding what kind of Bible study this is anymore.
And I also read a lot of not so great things about Shincheonji, but I still decided.
Oh yeah, because we have access to the internet.
Yeah.
That's right.
I still decided to take the classes.
Right, right. So that is the backstory that we heard, and I hope that explains a little bit on why this accusation is out there. I cannot say that this is entirely false, but I can say that it was never the church's intention to trick people into joining the church, because everyone ultimately had to decide for themselves after hearing everything that the church had to teach whether they wanted to become a part of this church or not. It is definitely not what Chairman Lee wanted. I don't think any church wants to evangelize in this manner. But there is a bit of history here.
Like, if I were to speak for myself, kung gano'n na lang na nasira ako, I'd find another way, diba? To still put the word out there.
Yeah.
And it's sadly na we can't be too open about it because of the prior incident. So, ginawa na lang po namin ng paraan.
You know what also I've been thinking about this situation? Na parang, and maybe I'm being biased, but like that situation na nangyari, na they invited people to study the Bible without really saying, the church that this was coming from, and then telling them later on, calling this deceptive or whatever. I feel like this situation is wrong only if yung teaching na i-share mo pala ay mali.
False teaching.
Do you know what I mean?
But
is it still wrong if it is the actual true revealed word for the New Testament? I don't get on that. Okay. Anyway, so again, was not the intention of the church. This is not how we evangelize in Shincheonji anymore.
In the beginning, actually, diba? Hindi naman talaga ganun yung plano.
So everything is wide open now. All right? With that,
we are going to move on to our second misconception, which is Shincheonji brainwashes people.
Did you feel brainwashed when you were doing the theology course?
Are you kidding me? Not in... No, never. Not even wala.
Yeah. I definitely did not. If anything, I feel like we were always being encouraged to ask questions. And I think that...
Oh, and I had a lot of questions.
Oh, yes, we did. And I think that's one of like the telltale signs of a brainwashing situation is you're just not allowed to ask questions. You just listen to this, inscribe it in your brain.
No buts. Ganun.
Yeah, be programmed with that, and then that's it. I think because we were always asked to ask questions.
We were
so
encouraged.
Articulate, Sam O.
Because we were always encouraged to ask questions.
Yeah, we never felt like this was being shoved down our throats.
So I never even thought I'd study this hard. But alam mo yung classroom setting, exciting. Diba? And I remember, I just remember being properly taught. Even the manner, even the way we dress. And then, if I may share one experience that parang nabuhusan ako ng malamig na tubig because it's really the revealed word.
Why? What happened?
We were learning, we were taking in. Di ba na may isang time na parang nagmadali akong pumasok sa class tapos hindi ako maayos. And then si Instructor Sharo was like, okay, kung di po kayo ready, di ba? Ganun, natatandaan mo yun.
Because God is the Word.
Yes. So, and that kind of like, wow, okay, this is some serious stuff. I mean, it's the revealed word we're learning. So we really have to be mindful.
There's a reverence for the Word. Talaga. Yeah.
So, and basta nag-enjoy lang ako dun sa lessons. I guess it's because the way it's taught to us, di ba? Ang saya eh. Di ba? Natuwa bigla. No, the way it was taught to us lang talaga. Super, super clear.
Mhm.
Logical.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, we really enjoyed our lessons. Like you too, before coming to take this theology course, I never thought that the Bible could be studied so academically and systematically in a Bible study setting, ha. Hindi yung tipong I'm not going to a Bible school, like I didn't enroll with tuition and everything to take a complete like degree on Bible or whatever. This was really just online classes,
Mhm.
absolutely free. Sure, it was a commitment at 6 to 8 months that you have to put in, but it felt like really just having time to read the Bible with an instructor, sure, but things explained to you pretty simply. Sure, sometimes it was a lot of information.
Yeah, but then we were always encouraged to ask.
Yeah.
Kaya natin naintindihan. Sa dami
Yeah.
ng tanong ba naman natin, di ba?
So, sobrang layo dun sa brainwash na
Brainwash.
experience talaga. Yeah.
Far. Too far.
Yeah. I think that can bring us to the last misconception or misunderstanding that we will be discussing on this episode, which is that you have to give up going to school or your job or your family to join Shincheonji, and you are forced to work for the church.
Oh my goodness. If for one nga, naging close pa nga po ako sa family ko.
That's true. You were just
Diba?
talking about that.
Yeah.
I think this is not true in that it's not what the church tells you to do. In fact, if anything, the chairman always says that whether you are in school, whether you are working, whether you are a stay-at-home parent, whatever it is that you're doing, wherever you are in life, be the best that you can be because you are. This is not a message that I heard ever.
It is free to choose. Parang, I think what I've learned so far being part of Shincheonji is your heart. You know, if you want to work, I've never been forced to work. The sincerity. If you want to work, diba?
Ay, yung parang level ng dedication mo.
Yes.
Parang ikaw na yung bahala what you want to do.
Because remember, it's not just the church you're serving God. Kung half-hearted ka,
made in the past, and you can imagine how a group of imperfect people trying to work together and trying to walk this faith life together, all different kinds of personalities, all different ways of saying things. The level of understanding is different, just different styles, and there will be situations where people get hurt. And it's something that obviously Shincheonji is not happy about. But I think I can really only speak for myself. I heard some of these stories, and I really had to weigh that with what is it that I learned in this church, and what is the teaching that I received from this church? What is the testimony that I heard in this church? And it really outweighed everything that imperfect people had done. Here because the people are perfect. No church has perfect people in it.
and like with any for me, if I don't believe so much in the teachings, then I probably would care less. And again, whatever happened in the past, it's not what we wanted. And I don't even think it's God's work. I believe it's a spiritual intervention to bring us down or to make us not hold on to what we believe now. If that makes any sense to you.
Oh, like stumble us who are in the church.
Yeah.
Right.
For myself, that being in this church, being with Shincheonji as a member of it, I just want to do better. I just want to do better every day in God's
And
eyes.
I see you do that. I can really, I can attest to this.
Super struggle, Mama.
Yeah.
Super struggle. Especially if you put me behind the wheel. Just don't make me drive because somebody else takes over. But yeah, so it just makes me want to be better in God's eyes. every time I wake up. And it's a constant struggle because I'm not perfect, and I don't think I'm near or close to being perfect. But the fact that um, studying the word and the teachings that Shincheonji gives us, I'm slowly getting there.
Mm-hmm. That you make, because the church, I heard this in one of our classes, the church is a place where people gather to learn the word of God, and it is through that word that we are healed and we are cleansed. So we become better versions of ourselves, and the only thing that has the power to do that is God and his word. And so point in time, we should be judging now by the teaching that is coming out of it, the word that is being testified.
And everything's available on YouTube. We have our English channel there, Shincheonji YouTube. Just go there.
Yeah. Fairly new members, I don't know if we have any real authority to just, break all the misconceptions and the misunderstandings, but we do belong to the church. And so I hope that our experiences and what we have to say about the church counts for something. I don't know if it will make a dent on, what anyone's opinion is about the church, but whatever you felt was lacking is a reflection on us and not the church. And I know we keep talking about the teachings all the time. And so I think after this conversation, we can now move on to what blew us away so much.
Yay!
What did we hear?
I can't wait to hear you.
And unpack some of that stuff. So we hope you can join us and you'll come back. We're on YouTube and Spotify, and now we're on Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts as well. Yeah.
Oh, level up.
No excuse now not to listen to the Best News Podcast. Guiding us through these kind of difficult conversations, I have to say. But yeah, I enjoyed doing them.
So to all the good Samaritans, we'll catch us.
Episode.
Bye.